All right. We talked about the major things. We talked about hardware, software, being able to communicate through local area networks and wide area networks. Local, excuse me, in the same geographical area, wide area networks over a larger geographical area. Usually need a service provider to allow you to go across the wide area network. And we talked about people that can use technology, and then experts. What actually gets sent across the network? We talked about bits, binary digits. That's where the word bits comes from. It comes from binary digits. Bits are these ones and zeros inside a computer we can represent using electricity or some magnetic spots. We can represent ones and zeros. Typically 8 bits gives us a byte, and we use bytes typically to represent here, how much memory you have, like 4 gigabytes of memory, or excuse me, bytes, 4 gigabytes of memory. Storage, you might have a terabyte drive, a DVD holds so many, and USB might be a 1 gig, and they're talking about bytes. When we talk about how fast we move stuff through and how fast it goes through the network, then we go bits per second. Let me write that again. Bits per second. Usually written like this, bits per second, or you'll see bits per second. That's supposed to be a B. All right? Excuse me. So, we have data, and we have a variety of different types of data. We have movies, music, numbers, text, all these things, all these different types of data can be stored in your hard drive somewhere. Like over here, I got an example of a hard drive at Google. So on their drives, they have YouTube, and they store movies there. And of course iTunes store music and a variety of things. So we use ones and zeros to represent those. Now arranged in a particular way would represent, can be represented by the extension. Like you'll have a file that might say a name with a DOC behind it, which represents a document, and more explicitly, a word processing document from Microsoft Word. And I give the example here. We talk about that extension. So the extension will indicate what type of software is used to manipulate the particular piece of data. So for example, you can use spreadsheets, can manipulate numbers in Excel. You know, XLS would be an extension or an example of extension for Excel. Here is sort of the same thing in a little bit more of a summary. I talk about the ASCII